Welcome back to Generations. I am one of your co-hosts, Peter.
I am your other co-host, Aubrey.
Aubrey, how are you? Summer is nearing an end.
It is. I am good. I'm good. It was the last week of regular old summer camp this week. So I just have like a little extra fancy week with some other kids, but last week with my kids, and they do not do the same after school. Like they don't go to the school that I do after school at. So it was saying goodbye to a lot of them this week.
Okay.
Which I will miss most of them.
You know, so sometimes that's all you can say is that you'll miss. I mean, most of them's pretty good. It could have just been, I'll miss a few of them.
Yeah, I will miss most of them. And that's all I will say about that. But it was fun. It was a fun summer. Fun being with different kids than I am with during the school year. Fun to do like swim trips and field trips and stuff like that. But there was this one specific boy who's going into first grade, and of course, the boys, because of the way our society is and has been, boys never like to show that much emotion still, especially when their friends don't show that much emotion. Then no one shows that much emotion, but this boy like comes up to me on the last day and he goes, "Will I see you again?" And I was like, maybe, maybe. And then he just goes, "I want to see you again."
That's adorable.
And I was like, I want to see you again too, buddy. Like, maybe sometime. But he is one of the boys that tend to be the troublesome group.
Okay.
So it was sweet that he actually was gonna miss me, because I feel like I'm constantly saying, "Oh, make a different choice. Oh, let's not do that. Oh, please don't do that. Please stop doing that."
I mean, that's pretty good. Cute. Take what you can get, right?
Exactly. I'll take what I can get. But yeah, I've been pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Summer means a whole lot less the older you get, other than hot. And it rained some yesterday, like enough last night that I went to bed and could hear rain.
Wow.
We just kind of at some point yesterday evening, your mom and I just sat in the living room and listened to the thunderstorm. It was really nice.
Yeah.
And it's been cooler, but it's supposed to start warming up again. It was, 70 something on Friday, 70 yesterday. It's supposed to be mid to high 80s today, and then we're right back up to the 90s again. So,
Oof.
Don't worry. We're continuing to cook the planet.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. I know everyone is worried.
But we had a little adventure as a family this weekend past.
Indeed.
And I thought we could just maybe talk about it. So for my 50th birthday, you guys all planned something. I knew there was something. Your mom had asked me earlier in kind of the spring. We had our London trip, and so she said, should we do this in August then? And I said, yeah, that'd probably be best. So I knew that. I knew we were doing something in August. So she told me what days to make sure I was off of work. She'd actually reached out to my manager and made sure my manager knew so that those days were booked off. And then I assumed, I don't know if it was supposed to be a surprise, but the way people were talking about things, I'm like, I mean, surely everybody's going to be there. That's what's happening here.
Yeah.
So I was not surprised that was what was happening.
Yeah.
But I did know that we were leaving and we were going to be gone for a few days. Didn't know where we were going until a week or two before, when your youngest brother let slip something about Vegas, and your mom was like, "Oh no, don't tell him." And he's like, "Mom, he's going to be the one driving there. He has to know." Anyway. We went
Fair
down
enough. Good
to
point.
we went down to Vegas. We drove down.
Yep.
We picked Jess up. We drove down last Thursday. Alex and Lily drove down the same day, and then fortunately, you two were able to fly out on Friday. But it wasn't quite at what time on Friday we were planning.
Yep. It was not, it was not quite the time. Of course, we wake up at to our alarm at 2:45 a.m. so that we can get packed and get the rest of our stuff packed and get to the airport. And I go to the bathroom and Hayden's like suspiciously quiet. And I'm like, that means something happened on his phone and he doesn't want to tell me until he knows for sure what went wrong.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm just going to brush my teeth and wait until he tells me what's wrong. And he goes, so our flight's delayed. I'm like, I knew it. And of course, it was the first flight that was delayed. If it was the second one, it wouldn't be a problem, but it was the first one. And of course, it's because the pilot and the flight crew did not get enough rest that's federally mandated. And that's why it was delayed. So can't fault anyone except for the people who are not allowing them to get the rest that they need.
Sure.
So then, of course, we panic a little and trying to look for other flights because we're going to miss our connecting flight. And at 3 a.m., it's just not the best time to be thinking of logistics and making sure the times are correct and the price and the everything. And so I had a little bit of a freak out, as you do at 3 a.m. But, we figured it out. We ended up finding a flight that was going to be out of Milwaukee instead of Madison. So we were like, if we leave right now, we could drive to Milwaukee. We're already up at 3 a.m. We just need to make the drive, and then we'll get there. So we made the drive. It's really not that bad of a drive. We got there. Everything else was totally fine. Made it there. It was about 5 hours later than we were supposed to.
Yeah, we were planning that you guys were going to be landing around 9, and you got there closer to about 2:30, 2:45.
Yep.
But fortunately, it didn't take very long for you guys to get to the hotel because we were right by the airport. I hadn't realized that.
Yeah,
literally
that was super nice.
a block away is where the airport starts.
Yep.
I'd never paid attention to that.
Yep, which of course the traffic makes it so it's like actually a 15-minute drive to go one block.
Oh, yeah.
But either way, it was close.
Yeah, and it's not one you would have wanted to say try and walk or something because it was like 113 degrees and felt every bit of it.
Every bit. Yep.
But so we went down to Vegas. We stayed at the Signature at MGM. We've stayed there before. It's a nice place for a couple reasons. Number one, it's nice that it isn't a casino. You don't have to cut through the casino floor to get to the actual hotel. I believe, at least in my experience, it has been less expensive than staying in one of the casino hotels.
Yeah.
They're nice in that they're kind of condos, so they have a little kitchenette and everything in them. But at the same time, because it is part of the MGM, your key card will get you into the MGM pools, and it's all sort of connected. So it was easy for us to walk air conditioned over into the MGM Grand and go to either some of the shops or restaurants, or when Alex, your younger brother, and Hayden both had to go and get a little bit of, I guess we still call them slot machines, but that sort of gambling experience out of their way.
Yep. Absolutely.
Was easy to go over and do that. But we went for a particular reason, which we'll talk about. But Friday night, your mom had a little surprise for us, and that is that we went to the Sphere.
Yes, we did.
Now, you've never been to the Sphere before, right?
Never. Nope. Yep.
I hadn't either. I'd seen it, and it's kind of cool and fascinating to see, but I'd never actually gone to a show there. And we weren't initially planning on going to the show, but when I knew we were going to Vegas, that was my first thought. I mean, my brain immediately starts to process and say, okay, what is specifically in Vegas, that we would be going for.
Right.
Because I'm not a gambler.
Right.
I didn't know off the top of my head of any shows where I'm like, oh yeah, this is something that I really want to go see. But I thought, well, okay, the Sphere. That was the first thing that came to mind. The Sphere. I've heard that going to things in the Sphere is pretty impressive. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
So I happened to look and see what's going on in the Sphere. And I saw that there's a Wizard of Oz thing, and I thought, no, there's no way that's why we're going to Vegas.
Nope.
And then I saw, oh, that's right. It's the Backstreet Boys residency at the Sphere going on right now.
Yep.
And I thought to myself, I really don't think Liz would do all of this
just
for
for
us
the
to go to the Backstreet
Boys.
Boys.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I thought to myself, and while I've never considered myself a Backstreet Boys fan, that's not really my preferred genre of music, I was like, I bet you it'd be fun as crap to go and see them. And I happened to mention that to your mom and say, oh, you know, I saw it was this is what's going on in the Sphere. And so I figured, no, that's not what we're doing. But I said, but I think, I would totally go if that's what we're doing. And so when I said that, she then went on and bought tickets for all of us. So we went to the Sphere and we saw the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was really fun,
awesome.
I thought. Yeah. The visuals were, like, obviously they kind of did their, what's the album called? Millennium album, themed. So they had, like, astronaut suits, and it was very galaxy, spacey.
Yep. There's a whole spaceship that cool. Kept flying across different scenes and stuff.
Yep. So that was super cool. Some of the visuals were a little strange, I will say.
Okay. Which one in particular? Because I agree. But...
The one in particular where their faces are like in these snowy mountains, like Mount Rushmore style. Yeah. But in the snowy mountains, so it's like icy, like over their faces and on their noses and eyes, but they're like still lip syncing along to the songs. But
I think that song might be a newer song.
Okay.
It's definitely not one that I recognized. And I was surprised at how many of the songs I recognized. Yeah. But that was one, and they said something before that song that made me go, I feel like here's what I'll say. It felt like a new song because they were like, oh, we're doing some shows. Let's put out a single.
Yeah.
It felt like that. And sadly, it was not only the weirdest.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
It just didn't have the juice.
It didn't have the juice. And it was, the visuals were unsettling enough that I was like, let's go to the next song. I don't want to keep seeing this because, of course, it's huge across the entire wall and ceiling, like, and curving up around. Like,
all you can see. It is completely filling your vision.
Yep. And I was like, wow, this Mount Rushmore type visuals, I'm not a fan of this. Yeah. I don't like it.
Yep, I'm with you on that one.
But other than that, it was really fun. I, of course, am on the younger side of, I was in the younger side of the audience, so I didn't know as many of the songs.
Except here's the thing that was interesting to me. I'm looking around, and in front, behind, and over to the left side, because all of you guys were at my right, but over to the left, I'm looking at these people who are singing along to every word. And I don't think many of them were that much older than you.
Yeah, it's true.
I kept thinking, oh, it's mostly going to be older people. And there was plenty of people my age there with their kids. And this is always a funny reminder to me, not that I really need the reminder, but a reminder to me that your mother and I had our family quite young, because I'm looking at people who are in my age bracket there with their kids, and their kids are like 5,
5,
7,
yeah.
10. And here's me with my family, 2 of my children married, 1 graduated from college years, like working,
Yep.
and then 1 who is now my youngest, starting a senior year in high school. And I am reminded that we started early.
Yep.
But yeah,
Indeed.
It was wild to see all of these people in this, like, again, kind of really Gen Z, or even, like that 18 to 30-ish age group.
Yeah.
And so many of them are singing along, sometimes very badly. Oh my gosh. The people behind us, I applaud their enthusiasm. Their ability and enthusiasm did not match.
Indeed.
It was rough. Like, your mom and I kept leaning at each other, like, oh my gosh. Like, good for them, but boy, it'd sure be more fun if they stopped.
Yeah.
Because it was so out of tune, so off key. Oh, it was bad.
Yep.
But
certainly.
But yeah, it was a wild experience because the visuals of that do some crazy things. I mean, there were some of the visuals where it manages, just because it swoops up in this dome above you. Mm-hmm. It looked like it was just going off into infinity. Yeah. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah. And there was a moment there where it kind of did that thing where I felt like we were moving instead of the visuals. I don't remember exactly. I think it was when maybe it was like the perspective of you in the spaceship might have been that. I don't remember. Or we were like coming up over craters and stuff like that, like on asteroids. I think it was that. And I was like, whoa. I was like, I gotta sit down for a second. Like, whoa, this is crazy. But it was crazy. The visuals were crazy.
It was. And they put on a great show. They were very into it. They sounded pretty dang good. One of the guys, when he was speaking and sometimes when he would sing, you could tell his voice was tired. They've been doing this for many nights. Yep. But, they danced. They still got the moves. They sounded pretty good. It was, I mean, would I be like, okay, let's go again? No. Would your mom? Your mom, I think she was like, yeah, I'd totally go again. But it was absolutely a blast. Like, it was a ton of fun, and it was a great show. Yeah,
their outfit changes I loved. I was eating those up. They had changed into like these black and pink sparkly outfits with all of them had these like pink soled boots, and I was like, this is amazing. But it was funny because I don't know, it feels like boy bands kind of aren't really a big thing at this moment besides in like K-pop, I feel like.
I was going to say K-pop was the only thing we could think about. We were talking about that as well, and it seems like the Western boy band machinery that was very active in the 90s and the early 2000s, just producers going out, making boy bands, pushing them out there, flooding the airwaves to make them happen. That's not a thing anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. So that specific boy band, like, stage dance moves was kind of just cracking me up the whole time. But they were so into it. Like, they were putting in the effort. I could tell. I was like, as you should. However, you probably had to do a lot of stretches to warm up your joints before you got on stage. But, it was so fun to watch, though. I really enjoyed it.
It was a good time. We did, I will say, and then we'll get to the thing that was, for me, the highlight. We had some good food. We kind of, we made sure you've mentioned in the past on here, you and Hayden have been doing your cut. You guys came down and said that this was the weekend where there was no counting, no restricting, no nothing. So we did our best to make sure we fed you adequately.
Yep, and we made the most of it, that's for sure.
So what was your favorite food or meal or whatever? What stood out to you?
It was probably on Saturday, I want to say, where I get the two mixed up. That buffet that we went to on Saturday before the movie.
That was at Caesars. That was
at Caesars. The Bacchanal. Yep. I would say that was probably my highlight because I got some crazy crab legs, They filled up the plate so much that the legs were like dripping crab juice onto the ground. I was like, whoa, my plate is full of crab legs right now. And if you looked around the tables, it was just
was the thing.
Crab leg plates just like filling the tables.
Yeah.
Oh,
crab legs
That
everywhere.
was the thing. Yep, crab legs everywhere. But I got to try, since of course it's a buffet, they have some like funky dishes, and it's just so fun to try all of it, because like when else are you're not gonna like order that weird funky thing at a restaurant. It's like that's the appeal of the buffet, and trying all the little desserts and everything, and listening to everyone's reviews of what everyone liked, and it was very fun, and I was satiated. My need to just go crazy and eat whatever I wanted was satiated, which is great. So
good. Glad to hear it.
Yes.
We Saturday night we went and saw Spider-Man, Brand New Day.
Yes, loved it.
Ton of fun.
So
Great
cute.
Movie. Great movie.
So cute.
Lots of heart, good emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Still connected to the Marvel stuff, but stands incredibly well on its own. I'm looking forward to watching that one again. I don't think it'll be in the theater, but I'm looking forward to watching that one again. I just, Spider-Man has been my favorite superhero since I think it was 5 or 6 when I moved from Superman to Spider-Man. And I think I really like Tom Holland's version. And I think that these have been 4 great movies.
I agree.
Some better than others, but still all of them incredibly watchable, fun, good movies. And I've really enjoyed it. So it was fun to go and see that.
Yeah, and also, every single time I see a movie with Hayden where I'm like, oh, like this is really cute, like I might tear up, or this is really sad, I might tear up. I look over and he's like tears streaming down his face.
He's a tender-hearted gentleman.
He's a softie. And then we finish the movie and I turn and I'm like, did you cry? And he's like, I cried. It was very cute.
It was a good one. We spent some pool time, which was nice to be in the water, because when you weren't in the water, if you were outside, again, when we were walking back to the hotel from the Backstreet Boys at like 10:30 at night, it was still like 111 degrees.
Yep.
It was
like, how fast can we walk to get inside?
It was so freaking hot. I would wake up before everybody else, and so I'd get up and kind of go for a little walk or something. And I'm going for a walk at 7 o'clock in the morning, and it is like 98 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
The heat was kind of gross. The heat was kind of gross.
Yep.
But the highlight and the big surprise and the real reason is that your mom got me 20 laps in a Ferrari 298 GTB out at the Exotic Raceways SpeedVegas track. And so that was my 50th birthday big thing, because look, I like cars. I like driving fast cars. I had the experience growing up of working when I was like in high school, and then a little bit kind of in between things in college, worked for a high-end car detailing company. We got to drive really nice cars, and some of them real fast. And that was where I fell in love with Corvettes and decided that I was going to have a Corvette one day. And then I got to a point where I could have a Corvette, and I realized I don't want a Corvette. I want to drive a Corvette. I don't want to own a Corvette. I don't want that car payment and the insurance, and then honestly paying to store it somewhere nice, because I don't want to put it in my garage here. Like my garage here is for the cars that are going in and out, and the cat's going to jump on.
And there's too much
stuff.
stuff. Yeah, there's too much stuff in the garage. Yeah.
And putting it in the garage means then one of the other cars has to be out. And so the practicality has won out, and I don't want to own a Corvette. But I'd like to drive a fast car. And so I drove a freaking Ferrari.
Yep.
And it was awesome. Now, I'll share briefly my experience, and then you can tell me how boring it was for you guys to watch. But no, it was cool. So you go down to SpeedVegas. They've got a 1.3 mile loop. The track, it's got kind of 10 turns on it, a couple hairpins at the end. It's got a 2,000 foot straightaway. It's a pretty nice course. They've got it laid out nicely, and they've got a ton of cars. You can do anywhere from like 5 laps up to 20, probably more. Mm-hmm. Your mom was very generous and did the 20 laps for me. And I'm grateful because, especially since this was my first time, that getting comfortable driving a car with that much power behind it, but also that's kind of in a way that's that demanding, trying to go around these corners fast, keeping a tight line, doing all this stuff. It took a few laps before I even felt like, okay, I got a feel for this thing. I can push it now a little bit.
Right.
And so the 20 laps was great for that. It went by really fast for me.
Yeah.
I had a coach in there. Nico was my coach. And that dude, he was unrelenting. Yeah. When we had our little orientation meeting, they said, oh, let your coach, your coach will ask you, do you want this to be just sort of a casual, low pressure, fun, go around the track in a fancy car situation? Mm-hmm. Do you want to go a little bit faster, or do you really want to push it? Mm-hmm. And in my head, I'm thinking, I want to push it.
Yeah.
But nobody asked me that. And Nico gets in the car and is like, let's go. Like, just go. And he kept just faster. Okay, give me more gas here. Give me more gas here. Accelerate more here. Okay, bro. And so it was just 20 laps of him pushing me. And it was so much fun. I mean, so much fun. In that straightaway, I got up to above 130 miles an hour, going around those corners, hearing the tires of this thing squealing as we're going because we're going fast enough around them that it's just every turn is just, and you can feel it and you can hear it. Occasionally pulling over as a few other cars passed me. For me, more often being told to pass other people. It was so much fun. I will definitely be doing it again in a different car just to get a different experience. But yeah, it was so much fun. Now, you guys, unfortunately, just kind of had to stand there and watch because it's real expensive. And some of y'all, I don't even think would have been allowed to drive the cars. Certainly Gareth, but maybe even Alex and Lily. And I mean, I can't remember. There was like, it might be, but anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What was it like for you guys watching?
Well, honestly, it was just so fun to see you have so much fun. Like it was just so fun to see you be so excited. And it was really cool to see just the other cars going so fast. Like it was honestly really fun to watch. We would all try and make sure we knew which one you were, because there were a lot of red Ferraris.
There were multiple red Ferraris on the track. That is for sure.
And there was like the little balcony we could stand out on and watch, which of course it was really, really hot, but we did stand out there for the majority of the time.
I would sometimes try and take a peek up and see if I could see you guys there, but that was also going into the tightest hairpin and coming out of it was where Nico was like full gas every time. Full gas every, because that was the start of the straightaway. So that was where you could get the most speed.
Yep, which it was super fun to be closer to there to watch you every lap kind of go faster out of the turn every time. Like we were like, oh, he's getting more comfortable. He's going faster. And we, at first we really couldn't figure out which one you were because there was like 4 red Ferraris and we like the other end of the track was far enough away from us. We couldn't really keep good track of
for sure
which one you were. Until Gareth's like, wait, no, those are Dad's forearms. we're like, yep, that's Dad's forearms. Nope, I think that's Dad's watch. Yep, I see. And then I went to, at one point I saw you doing like your hand, and I was like, that's Dad's hand. Yep, I could see his hand.
There you go.
So we were like, there he is. But it was super fun to see you just going faster and faster. And then they had like these drifting police looking cars that like drifted around a hairpin. It only drifted like twice, I think, but it was drifting around the hairpin and then would zoom off again. That was fun to watch. And it was just fun to see you like passing people and just getting really fast on the straightaway. But Yeah, it was awesome. It was really fun to watch. I definitely think if I had the opportunity, I would totally do it. I would totally do it.
It is something worth kind of going, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna save up a little bit and go for this because it was cool. Like I said, I fully plan that I will be doing it again at some point in hopefully the not too distant future.
Indeed. And I want to, you got the video of it, right? You purchased the video, and I want, if you could like send me a clip, I want to see it, because I love hearing like Coach in the background being like, go, 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 and you're just like, vroom, vroom. Like,
I'll throw it in that, I'll throw it in, I uploaded it to photos, so I'll put it in the shared album.
Perfect. Yeah, it was super fun. And it was super fun to hear you chat about it afterwards. You got your, there was some merch you could get. And I went and checked it out for you, and I was like, oh, there's one that says Speed Daddy, and that's the one.
Yep. So I got my Speed Daddy t-shirt.
Yep. And, so that was awesome.
The thing that surprised me the most was how draining it was. Especially doing the 20 laps. Like when I was done, well, and it was actually 23 laps, because I would do 7 laps, and then he had me do a cool down lap, just kind of slow. And then again 7 and a cool down, and then 6, and then I did one last cool down lap before we pulled off. And then, I mean, it's wild because it's so hot. They're immediately over there spraying underneath the car and like the radiator with a hose and stuff as soon as you get out. But yeah, I got out and I'm like, I feel it in my arms, my shoulders, just from like being locked into that steering wheel. But just the tension that you're carrying when you're driving that fast in kind of a more demanding technical way, it was exhausting. Like we got done and I'm like, I need a nap.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was so cool. So much fun, and it was so great. Really, this is the first time that we've all been together that I could think of. Because certainly since Alex and Lily got married.
Yeah, and Hayden couldn't be there
because Hayden couldn't be there.
Their wedding. Yep.
And Lily and Alex, like Lily came to your reception as Alex's sort of +1, but he'd only been home for a week, so it wasn't really official yet.
Yeah.
And so it was really great just to have everybody there, be able to spend that time together. And then you guys had to fly back Sunday afternoon, and then we had to leave. I mean, we were driving out of Vegas at 6 a.m. on Monday morning. We had a swim team meeting we had to be back for. We wanted to meet your grandpa down in Spanish Fork for lunch so that we could at least see him for a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were and then we needed to obviously drop Jess off as well. So we had enough stops that we were like, all right, we were doing the math, and your mom's like, we need to be on the road at 6. So, okay.
Jeez.
We'll be on the road at 6.
Yeah.
And again, 98 degrees is what my car thing said at 6 a.m.
Which is just crazy.
Yeah,
and with the dry heat, like I stepped off of the plane, and once we got to like the Uber rideshare area to get from the airport to the hotel, I just felt like the moisture was being sucked out of my skin. I was like, oh, I'm a raisin. Like, I got nothing left. I immediately need chapstick. I immediately need water. I cannot breathe this air.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And you're sitting there trying to breathe, and it is so hot that it feels like you can barely breathe. And every breath, you're just like, I need water now because I breathed once. Yes,
and the, like, dark paved, like parking garage ground, it literally feels like you stood in front of an oven. Like you opened the oven and that's the air, but it's just the ground radiating off. It was so bad.
Yes, it really was
so bad.
It was so hot.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it was a fun. I had a good time. It was so good to see all of you, and I just appreciate you guys all making it happen. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah. It was super fun.
I'm like, okay, we got to figure out what are we going to do for your mom's 50th, but at the same time, Gareth may be on his mission when that happens, so we may have to delay it a few months, but
yep.
I don't know. But I got something to live up to now, because
yep, there you go.
She made it pretty awesome.
Yeah. And it was fun. I was talking to Hayden when we were like planning for this trip, and I was like, I don't think we've done like a family trip, a family vacation where Hayden has actually been able to come with us
I don't
ever.
think so.
And we've been together for like 6.5 years.
Yeah.
And obviously because of like long distance, so if we ever did like a Bear Lake Labor Day trip, he couldn't come with because it was during the school year. And when we went to Hawaii, it was right after high school, so he wasn't going to come with. We'd been together like only a year. Right. And yeah, there was just like, I was like, wow, this is a monumentous occasion. This is awesome.
It was that first time. It was.
It was really fun to be able to be with everyone. And with us being out here, not being able to see everyone very often, except for when Mom comes out every 2 months, which it's been over 2 months now, so it's time for her to come visit me again.
I know. She's already been talking about it. So.
Yep. But yeah, it was super fun. Great weekend.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, do you have an astro fact you wanted to share? I don't really have a health thing other than I will mention. I actually published something today on Imperfect Practice about kind of the social isolation thing, and really looking into some of the data on that, mostly with the focus that it's the problems and the harms of social isolation and loneliness have been greatly exaggerated in both mainstream and social media. And the reason I wanted to mention it and bring it up and kind of speak to it is because it really is bothering me that something as fundamental and important as human interaction feels kind of like it's now being weaponized as one more thing we need to optimize, one more thing we need to be, friendship maxing or something like that. And I hate that. I hate the fact that, I've seen TED Talks and videos and articles. I mean, in fact, I was just reading this one thing that was talking about how the modern society and our phones is making us more isolated than ever. And it sounds all these alarms about how bad things are and how we need to stop this and stop that. And I'm like, the actual data doesn't really support the argument you're making. People are making arguments about feelings and then making people who read those arguments feel bad about what they're doing. Right. And we don't need to beat ourselves up and feel bad about how we're friendshipping.
Right.
So that was why I wanted to bring it up is, yes, we need to connect. We need to connect with each other, with other people. We should do so when we can and when we want to. But we also don't need to stress about it and optimize it. Like, just optimizing everything is, I don't know. I'm trying to find the middle ground there. Yeah. I'm having a bit of a hard time, but I feel like there's two real extreme sides out there. The optimize everything and the don't optimize anything, just live free.
Yeah, right.
I feel like there's somewhere in between there, which is really where we ought to be hanging out, but I don't know. But don't worry about friendship maxing. You don't need to optimize your social interactions. Yeah. Let them happen naturally for fun because you care about people, not because some diptard on the internet told you that you should.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
There you
go. My one kind of astro adjacent fact is that I am getting back into research. I am researching again with my good old mentor. Love him. Me and him are like this for real.
That's great. I love it.
Yep. I will not be getting paid because there is no funding, no extra funding.
I'm sure.
However, I was kind of talking to my mentor that I did my last research with, and I was like, what do I do to like make sure I get into grad school? Like, what can I be doing? Because I don't know what else to do. Help. And he's like, there's always more research Like, more research is always good. And I was like, well, I was going to ask you about that, actually. Do you have any projects I could work on? Because I just miss doing it for fun. I miss doing astro stuff. I miss coding. I miss doing all that stuff. And I was like, do you have anything I could, like, work with you on? And he just goes, Aubrey, there is always projects for us to be working on.
I mean, space is big.
Space is huge. Space is big. So he was like, don't you worry. We can kind of, the space is your oyster at this point. Find what's interesting to you, and we will make a project out of it. And I was like, all right. Cool. So I'm getting back in it, and I'm very, very excited because I have missed it very, very much. So
that's awesome.
That is my fact. That. So, yep, there we go.
Excellent. Well, cool. Well, we'll be back in another couple of weeks, and it was so great to see you. It was good to talk to you.
Yes, it was.
Please go ahead, share this, leave us a star rating, leave a review. All those things help other people find it, and we'll be back again in a few weeks.
Bye.